Welcome, Aries, to your Mars in Pisces 6-week forecast. I'm going to share the themes of Mars in the subterranean Pisces for you, but also on screen, I'm going to share the event chart because when Mars arrives, it is in an exact opposition with the Moon, and they're both in a square with the restless energies of Uranus. I think we can say the weeks ahead could be rather unsettled. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. I'm going to unpack all of this for you and give you a clear understanding of what you can expect in terms of relationships, energy, finance, and work. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now. So Mars is your ruler. It's the only one you have. It's your sole domiciliary ruler. But if we think of the overall zodiac, Pisces, where Mars has just arrived, is the 12th zodiac sign, both for us all, but particularly for you. And Mars here can, over this next 6 weeks, stir up some sediment of things that you thought you dealt with in the past. And that could be upsets, separations, and losses, because however much we work on those things, our bodies are incredible at remembering things. And that memory can be triggered because Mars can be very much about action, but the 12th house very much about the subconscious, our psychology. So you may find over this period of weeks that your moods are somewhat up and down. But let's look at the natal chart to get a bit of a clearer understanding of what that tells us. Because Mars, as I mentioned, is in a direct opposition with the Moon. In itself, in a natal chart, that creates someone who can be very impatient. It may be someone who tends to be a bit dismissive about the more emotional dimension. They want to get to the target quickly. But also because of the position of Uranus and the fact that Mars has been clashing with Uranus, which came to an exact peak last Friday and created a lot of abrasion and tension, I feel that the energy over this next 6 weeks is going to be seeing, particularly from a financial viewpoint, a lot of uncertainty going to be stirred up. Now, Mars in Pisces is known as being peregrine. It doesn't quite know what to do with itself. If we think about the thrust and excitement that your ruler creates, and you think about the resistance that water creates with anything thrusting through it, even a boat, you have to have a huge engine to race through the water as quick as you would on land. That creates some understanding of what we're all going to encounter. In other words, things may not play out quite as quickly as we would like. But I just want to tell you that in week 3, Mars will be meeting the retreating Mercury in its retrograde. And that can create an even more triggering energy. There could be things that you're going to say that just come up from the depths, and you'll feel a very strong need to release them, even if you're usually quite placid. However, in the latter part of March, there is a tremendous energy between Mars and Jupiter. Jupiter goes direct, the planet of fortune, on the 11th. Mars in your 12th house linking with Jupiter in the part of your scope to do with your home and emotion suggests that if you do have a big desire to shift where you're living, to adapt it or improve it, that can be a key time for you. But early in April, Mars is forging a much more restless energy to Uranus. And that energy is going to reach a peak on the 8th of April. But you could find that things that you've been researching, doing behind the scenes, or learning and understanding can come back to you in a very powerful way as far as those finances are concerned. So in terms of your overall energy, I expect it to be lower, particularly with Venus entering your sign on the 6th, meeting with Neptune and Saturn, the Sun coming into your sign on the 20th of March, meeting Neptune and Saturn. So they're going to slow things down as well. You could encounter some real and genuine frustrations over the next few weeks, but if you're minded to clear up any outstanding issues, tie up those proverbial loose ends, you can make this work well for you. If a relationship matter has seemed uncertain, I think what the Moon in Virgo is telling you, not to hold out too much for perfectionism. It's not necessarily going to help. But if there have been any simmering issues beneath the surface, they may need to come out. As far as your finances are concerned, you can have that breakthrough in the first week of April. And it may be by thinking outside the box, but also adapting old skills and experiences in some kind of new and fresh way. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've yet to watch your March deep dive video, please see that on the screen. And also your lunar eclipse video, you can view that too.